Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Hope you're well, and let's see who's on at the moment. So we've got Dank City. Hello, buddy. How are you, Big Forehead? Hello, everyone. Section 20 afternoon. All you Sky Blues. Football fan chat's on, mate. Hi. Good win for you yesterday. England's finest is on Blue Moon. Alexander Savage, you saw me standing alone. Is finishing off your chat there. Without a dream in my heart, sections involved in that as well. Football fan chat, good to see you doing a live vlog. Thank you, Alexander Savage. Hello, fellow Blues, and hi, Andy. Enjoying some Bob Dylan. Wow, superb, Bob Dylan. Football fan chat, minute silence at Goodison Park now. That's good to see. And Alexander Savage finishes off with "Without a Love of My Own." Mark the Blue never felt more like singing. Do you want me to carry on? City win, United lose, oh City. You got me singing the blues. It was, it was just shame the Liverpool won, if I'm being honest. But hey, it is what it is. Can we take a moment to laugh at you? Yeah, you can, mate. You can take as long as you like. Good to see Remembrance a week before. Yeah, it is. It's one of those things. All clubs do it, mate. Bournemouth are no joke this season. Doing very well. Very well. Eddie Howe, I think, is primed for a top job in the Premier League. And I've got a funny feeling it's going to be at Arsenal. If I'm being honest, I think Eddie Howe is absolutely perfect for Arsenal. Prediction for Everton Spurs. And it's going to be a tight one. I can't remember what I said. I'm sure I said a 2-1 win for Everton. I'm sure I did. Or 1-1. I can't remember. Somebody will remind me. Hi, Kamal. How are you, buddy? We've been getting those things on Instagram. David Silver injured. Yes, Jack Hazel. I don't think it's anything serious, though. I think it was more precautionary than anything else. He felt something and he was brought off. Eddie Howe is loyal to Bournemouth. He won't go to Arsenal. Hey, money talks and bullshit walks, football fan chat. If the money's right and he gets a big budget, let's face it, he's never going to get that at Bournemouth, and he needs to move up to the next level. Bournemouth are never going to be in the Champions League, so at least with Arsenal, he'll get that opportunity. You think Unai is gone? I think he's going to be gone by Christmas, if I'm being honest. That's my opinion. I think when the fans turn on the manager and everything else, I think that's curtains. Football fan chat, I'm going for 3-2 Spurs. I hate to say it. I hope the club and its new stadium burns down. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Right. You can go in a timeout for that. I mean, that's just, chill out. David Silva will miss the Liverpool game. Pep said, yeah, probably. Watch some Arsenal Fan TV videos today. Not a fan of that type of fan channel. Too much mediocre entertainment. Yeah, they were actually talking about Arsenal Fan TV on Sunday Supplement this morning that I watched, and they were saying it's not good for the club the way that they do it. Well, whether it is or it isn't, I mean, I'm not one to say because obviously I run a fan channel, but we don't do it for the reasons that they do it, which is, let's face it, it's financial. Good afternoon, Numpties. Ivor, how are you, buddy? Have you finished off Led Zepp yet, mate? Mourinho to Arsenal. I think if you read, there's an article in the Sunday Times today talking about Mourinho to Arsenal, and it was just a very small snippet. And again, they talked about that on the Sunday Supplement after I read it this morning. I think it's his agent putting it out there. I think he wants the Real Madrid job again because Zinedine Zidane's not doing a great job there, and I think he's just putting it out there to say, well, I could go to Arsenal, but if Real Madrid want to come back and get me, then I'm happy to go there. Let's face it, he was pretty successful. Mourinho to Arsenal, no. Home and chilling out. Won't be joining in scores, guys, but we'll be in the chat. Mourinho to Tottenham, possibly. That might be a better fit. Bit naughty, that football fan chat. Yeah, I agree. That's why he's in a timeout. Wenger out, blood fam. Football fan chat, no need. Don't bring your hate into our chat room. Simple as. Absolutely. That's why he's in a timeout. Happy Sunday, everybody. Kiam, how are you, buddy? Hope you've had a good weekend, and hope, Martin, you had a great wedding up in the Lake Districts, even though that WhatsApp message last night was quite funny. Alexander Savage, I mean that they had a guy on arguing with Claude about abusing Jacka. The guy thought it was justified. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just, you might dislike players. We all dislike players. We all have our favourites. We all like ones that we think could be better or should be at the club, but you don't boo them off, not as a fan base. I mean, that's disgraceful. And then threatening to kill him, break his legs, and hope his wife gets cancer and his kid. I mean, and I'm sure they're not the real Arsenal fans. Trust me, they're not. They're just idiots on social media. Hi, Andy. Hi, Brian. Evening, everyone. Andy, ref, man of the match. Currently playing the pretty things. Get the picture, LP, class. Enjoy that one, buddy. Yasin Cadio, are you not watching Spurs Everton? I'm a Man City fan, mate. Not really. No, I've got too many things to do. I'm doing this this particular play ratings video, quick one today, and then I've got podcasts to record with some guests on there. So Alexander Savage, no personal attacks, especially not during the game. Martin, it was fun, believe me. And Andy knows what I mean. Popcorn was ready. Even my lad was asking questions. Sounded fun. That's family weddings for you. Section, so Martin survived being in Cumbria without locals burning him in a huge wicker man. Yeah, I was surprised he actually got Wi-Fi and toilet paper. That's horrible, says Alexander. Pep called out Marnie for diving. Mind games have started already. Yeah, very clever. I mean, that's all it was. I think it was a bit of frustration on his behalf from yesterday's match. But then he comes in, sees the dive and everything else. He's just planting the seed. I mean, Klopp would do the same. Ferguson used to do the same. Mourinho used to do the same. Wenger used to do the same. All the top managers do it. They just plant the seed for the following week, knowing, if a ref's there, he sees it, he's going, right, I'm going to keep an eye out for Mane's dives and things like that. And it might be one. The only problem we've got VAR. So, I mean, if it's not a dive and it is a real penalty, VAR will sort it out. So, and guess what, Andy? During that crazy Xhaka video, there were loads of LFC clowns in the background showing six fingers and chanting, "We're the champions of Europe," poor quality videos. Yeah, even found time to say hi to you, amazing people. Kamal, did you see the Mane dive, Andy? It was pathetic. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty embarrassing, very embarrassing. Do you know that Ray's channel is now called City Fan TV? Yes, I do. Yeah. But it's up to him entirely. Clearly, wants to get as close to Man City Fan TV as he possibly can and maybe piggyback our success. Kiam, to be fair, Arsenal Fan TV should be commended. It's now safe to walk the streets of London on a Saturday between the hours of 3 and 5. Ivor says, I really enjoyed yesterday. Got to the Etihad late again. Thought it was a cracking game. Only one side deserved to win. With credit to Southampton for their defending. Poor ref, better atmosphere. The atmosphere was a lot better. We're going to talk about that in the ratings. Martin says, I wouldn't fit in a wicker man section unless it was extra wide. Kenwood Garg, you're very generous to the competence of VAR. Well, it is what I know. I'm not saying it's about whether it's competent or not. I'm just saying it would go to VAR. It's one of those things. Yasin says, do you reckon we'll beat Liverpool? It's going to be a very tough game. I've got to stick with City. I've got to. Back from training with the kids, good. Mind your comments, football fan chat. Alexander, Andy, honestly, no offence, but you interviewed some tourists after the Southampton game. Hey, mate, if you came to City, I'd interview you, and you'd be a tourist. So it's one of those things. So no offence to you, Alexander. Either I enjoyed both channels, the more the merrier. Team struggled as I wasn't in attendance. Pep knew. Apologies for the comments about Spurs. I don't like them. Put it that way. I don't like United or Liverpool, but I don't make things about things being blown up and blah blah blah. I mean, come on, that's childish. So I know that you're only a kid, but come on, if you're going to come on an adult channel, then be careful. The Japanese girls were nice. I just didn't like the fact that they didn't know their favourite player's name. They could hardly speak English, mate. They were turning around and pointing at him. Yeah, Alexander, when you're ready to come to Manchester and come and see a City game, come over and we'll interview you, and then other people can say, yeah, no, but he's a foreigner. It's like what you just said. Just keep it nice, GM. Like banter, but tad too far, pal. Section good on the Brazilians and the Japanese fans, especially Brazilians. They must have been frozen. They were absolutely freezing. Well, actually, two of them, the two on the left with the City hats and everything, they support City, but they live in Dublin. So they've lived in Dublin for the last, I think, 8 years, she said, her and her husband. And the other two are their friends. I think it's her brother-in-law or whatever. They'd come over and they took them from Dublin over to Manchester to watch a City game. So they were City fans, with the ones with the hats and scarf on. They were City fans and follow City religiously, but they live in Dublin. The other ones were from Brazil, and their English was so-so. I'm not that type of tourist, though. Why? Well, how many times have you been to Manchester, mate? Kiam, I love Arsenal Fan TV. I think Robbie is a great guy, so is Claude and Troops. Listen, they do a fantastic job, absolutely brilliant job. But you can see why. You see why certain sections of the media, in particular, because the media don't like fan channels, they don't like this, and clubs don't particularly like fan channels. So you can see why they do it. The Brazilians must have been frozen to the core. Yeah, they were very cold and very wrapped up. And yesterday was freezing, not only because it was pouring down with rain, but then as the game finished, it turned very, very cold. Guys, we'll be at Clanfield next week, fan cams and all. Can't wait. Thank you. Yeah, Martin will be there. I'm the DT of the channel. I'm not quite sure you're the DT of the channel, buddy. If you're not born in Manchester and choose to support Manchester City, local fans may class you all as tourists. There you go. That's the thing. So by tourists, I don't mean people who live abroad, but those who don't really come for the club. The selfie fans, I'm not that type. Yeah, no, I understand that, but the thing is that just name me the games that you've been to in Manchester at the Etihad, Alexander, because you're talking about people who you don't really know their backgrounds. You don't know whether they've followed City for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. This is their first time from Japan to Manchester, and they come to see Man City. They might not have done. They might have gone last week and watched United for all we know. But I think it's unfair to just constantly pick people out, go tourist fan. Those 4 people from Brazil, I was chatting to them for about 10 minutes before I got them on camera. And I could quite easily have gone, oh, look, you just bought that scarf, you put that on. And actually, when I spoke to them, they lived in Dublin. The two on the left lived in Dublin. And they've been there for 8 years, and they've supported City for however many years that they've been over in Europe. And it was just their first time that they had Brazilian friends over, and they decided that they'd fly all the way. They flew from Dublin to Manchester last night or the night before to watch the game. So, they've spent their money and they've bought a ticket. This ticket's available. If people want to come over and go and buy a ticket, then they can buy a ticket. If people from Manchester, etc., don't buy the tickets, then they're going to get filled by other people. So, and I'm from Manchester, but I don't live in Manchester anymore. But you're going to class me as a tourist now. So I think when we use as fan base, we can be a little bit sort of up our own arses sometimes and use that word tourist too cheaply. Let's face it. Charity boxing match with section. Tourists are not. They are there because they love City. It doesn't matter where they're from. I can't fight sleep at my age. Martin and Joe section. We have to embrace fans from all over. We are growing quicker than any other club in the world. We are. The money they spent ain't easy. It's not. It's a lot of money. Respect for travelling that far away. I live much closer and I still haven't been to Manchester. I just think there are loads of people come to just entertain football. Well, I mean, is that such a bad thing? Surely, if they want to come and watch entertaining football, if that's what you think their case was. I didn't ask them the reasons behind it. But if they want to come and watch entertaining football, that just shows if you're coming all the way from Japan to watch Manchester City, then that shows you the type of football that we're playing. But if you came over and you went on a fan cam, how would you feel if City fans were going, it's not from here though, he's a tourist, he's never been, it's his first time at the Etihad. Look at Akio. who I'm speaking to shortly for tonight's podcast. He runs the Go and Supporters Club, first time in the UK and following City 3 games in a row. Is he a tourist because it's his first time in Manchester or London watching City away? No, not at all. You can be a City fan and just not be in that country. If you follow a basketball team, if you follow an NFL team, or you follow, I don't know, whatever team, you suddenly, would you like it if people classed you as all tourist fans and things like that? Are they hardcore City fans? Of course they're not. Absolutely not. But you know, they've paid their money, they've come over and they've watched the team. And if they go back and tell 5 or 6 of their friends, oh, we need to watch City on TV in the local bar or whatever, and they come over and they spend money and they this, it's just the way football is progressing. All clubs have them. I'll be a tourist when I go to the Etihad in December. He will. The tourist is coming over in December. I can't wait for that one, Kiam. You can't have it all. Fan cam for Kiam. We'll wait and see on that one. My old fellow was a Dundalk-born Irish Union fan. Over the years, I went to Dublin and watched Ireland circa 12 times. I was a tourist in Dublin watching a rugby game. Simple as. There you go. But there you go. That's what you were. But you were still following. I don't know whether you were following Dundalk because of our Ireland national team, because of your affiliation with your dad's nationality. Full force in December, can't wait. Paul Snandall, evening all. How are we all doing? Everyone recovered from yesterday. Yeah, thrilled out last night. Tasman UK says, my son was dead happy yesterday. He has worn the 17-18 shirt to the Palace 3-2, Spurs 4-3, Spurs 2-2. He wore it yesterday and was glad the curse was lifted. He has supported City for 6 years. Well done, Tasman UK, and to your son. People coming from all over the world is fantastic, says Leonard London. Football in 2019 is like a cinema or theatre. You buy your tickets, you watch the entertainment, simple as. Akio and the other fella, his father, I guess, that's a different story. Not all tourists are the same. Well, exactly, they're not. But you don't know their background. So, Akio and his father were real fans and real gentlemen. They were very nice. Loads of different people at the ground yesterday. Shows the new global appeal of the club. It does, and we have to accept that. Apologise, I thought Japanese girls didn't know the names of the players, didn't know they struggled. Yeah, they weren't. Their English wasn't the best, and I prompted them with the questions I'd asked so they could think about their actual answers. So their English wasn't great, wasn't brilliant. No fan cam for me, but I may have some Canadian mates with who can do one for that international feel. It's just all those who say glory hunters. They've never been there. Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things. I just think we need to be, as fans of a club that is growing massively. We're not in the United camp. We're not in the Liverpool camp where, 20, 30 years of European worldwide success they've had. We have to be careful of just suddenly, people come and want to see City and then suddenly go, oh, tourists, or get rid of them or whatever else like that. Oh, embrace it. Let's face it, they've got a ticket. There were a few odd empty seats yesterday. Other people could have got a ticket. I mean, look at the game, Southampton. Here's a prime example. Southampton game midweek. People moan, oh, I can't get a ticket. Oh, I can't afford a ticket. Well, I understand that tickets are expensive, but midweek it was £12.50. £12.50 for an adult ticket midweek. Tickets were on sale. Could easily have got one. £12.50, even if you can't afford a regular Premier League game week in, week out, which I understand people can't do it. It's very expensive to follow Premier League teams this season. £12.50, you could have had an opportunity to go and watch City in the flesh midweek against Southampton on a Tuesday evening. £12.50 is less than what you pay for an under-16 ticket. So, we can't have it always, Blues, anyway, and sometimes, it does get a bit ridiculous, some of the comments that are made when, we saw Tuesday night 20,000 empty seats and things like that. Well, tickets were available if you wanted one for £12.50 as an adult or whatever. I don't know how much it was for under 16s and things, but under 18s, but peanuts, absolute peanuts. So you can't complain in one respect and then moan about and then shout loud about the fact for another that it's too expensive when the tickets are on sale for £12.50. It's just all those who say glory hunters. Yeah, the atmosphere has been affected, but there's the same at the Swamp in Emirates and even Clanfield. It's just 21st century, I'm afraid. Alexander, you got it. Fair play. If you come to watch a game and don't know the names of the players, that's kind of odd. They didn't know his name, it was pronouncing his name. But anyway, that's your opinion. And I was quite happy to interview them. So if you didn't like it, tough. Billy says, my old fella, that's the reason I have now got an Irish passport, because of the Brexit crap. I do always have a soft spot for Ireland, but I was born in Manchester to Manchester-born mother. You're English. Well, that's it. I mean, we see it with players, don't we, either. I think standing will bring back some of the atmosphere, more energy. It was much better yesterday. We'll talk about that. Strange, when I booked my ticket, all the seats around me were sold, but there was quite a few empty ones around me. Really, where were you, Paul? I know you said something, didn't you, one of you? Were you in 3-1? Were you in 3-1-6? I can't remember. We can't be one of the best teams in the world and have a fan base just from winning. No, we can't, mate. There will be season ticket holders not gone, Paul Sandor. It's the way it is now. Why we sell out but not always full. £40 for yesterday's ticket. It's not cheap to go for a game. No, it's not. I mean, £40 for a game against Southampton, especially when you've just played them midweek as well. It isn't cheap. It isn't cheap. I'm certainly not saying it is. Phyllis says, my mate and his son working in London, job overrun, and they either come home for the match and lose even more time and money, or do their job. Loads of reasons. Absolutely. Loads and loads and loads of reasons why season ticket holders can't turn up or don't turn up or whatever. Block 316, yeah, I thought you were, mate. Do you think the game being tight creates better atmosphere? Definitely does, in my opinion, Kamal. Definitely, because I do think when we're coasting, it sort of negates the atmosphere, unless it's a 6-0 and you're going, we want 8, we want 10, we whatever. I think it does negate it, because everyone sort of sat back going, this is easy, we've won now, 3 points are in the bag, or we're through to the next round. But I think when it's tight, yeah, definitely does create that, which is good to see. It creates that real siege mentality where the fans get right behind the team, and whether they should or they shouldn't, I mean, that's up to the fans. Still recovering from my nosebleed being up in the cats. Great view though up there, mate. Must admit, you get a brilliant view of the game. It's not that I didn't like the video, but there's been much focus on the atmosphere thing. I guess a lot of people are not happy with the atmosphere. I don't think it's anything to do with tourist fans, mate. I really do not think it's anything to do with tourist fans. If you're at the ground and you're in the sections where I stand, like I said to you last week, Villa fans were very, very boisterous. And they were all old school City fans, where I was sat right next to them, stood right next to the Villa fans, hardly making a sound. They're old school City fans, hardly making a sound. That was absolutely nothing to do with tourist fans, nothing, because they don't tend to sit in those seats. They sit in the Colin Bell stand, or they'll get the odd tickets here and there. These were hardcore City fans, and there wasn't much atmosphere at the Villa game. There really wasn't. So you can't blame that on tourism. You cannot blame that on tourism. Where yesterday's game, everyone was up for it. They really were. And I think it's just down to the fact that sometimes in games, we coast. We absolutely cruise through games, and it's simple, and it's, you sort of sat back enjoying the football, rather than when it's tight or you're getting beat 1-0 with sort of 20 minutes to go and you're thinking, come on. You yourself get irate and want to get up and support the team and things like that. So that's why I think it contributed to a better atmosphere yesterday. But that's just my opinion. Season ticket prices need to be lower, especially where I sit. It's a joke, but I'm the silly one who pays it. Yeah, well, that's it. Paul says, I live in Nottingham, can't make it up all the time, especially when there's 2-3 games a week. I need to move house, and it's just going up there. The atmosphere thing is just another red stick to have a go at City. They can't attack the football, absolutely. Yeah, great view, fella. Hate being low down in the stadium. It is a great view up there, Paul. I must admit, it is a bit of a climb up. I hope you took your oxygen with you. But once you're up there, you do get a fantastic view of the game in general, the full game. It's really good to see a big overview of it. You think it's not because of football tourism? That's an interesting take. Yeah, I don't think it's at City. I'm talking about City. I don't think it's to do with football tourism. No, I don't. I definitely don't think it's to do with football tourism at Man City. I think the atmosphere has become less and less and less the more successful games that we play. and that we'd win. And if you go to most City games, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all right, this season hasn't been like that as much, but normally, half time, cruising 2-0, 3-0, or second half, it's like 3-4-0, 5-0. Game's over. Game is absolutely over. And a lot of the time, it's more you jeering at the fans, the away fans right next to you. So, yeah, I don't think it's to do with tourism. I really don't, if I'm being honest, but that's just my opinion. Level 1 better than level 3 and 4 rows from pitch. Can't beat it, but I did enjoy 221. 221 was very, very good seats. We were in midweek work with Martin. Very good seats. Old Trafford hasn't had a good atmosphere 20 years. It hasn't. And let's face it, Liverpool hasn't, except for European nights. You go to Anfield and you listen. It's like 20 minutes before the game, anytime they score, and then right near the end, that's it. The rest of the time is silent. The atmosphere got better as the game went on. Some proper passion from the fans. I agree, Paul. Alex says, I don't care about the media crap. Lots of City fans talk about the atmosphere. That's what I'm interested in. Well, yeah, I've spoke about it. I've done videos on it. I've interviewed fans. If you listen to Danny's comments about atmosphere and things like that, I interviewed him the last month or the month before. I did a big thing on it that Ivor made lots of comments on about Danny. Yeah, I've already been there and I've done all the atmosphere thing. I'm mad busy at the moment. Missed the kickoff in the last 3 home games. Only for 10 minutes in the car from the Etihad. Life it takes life, not football, absolutely. I can't climb the stairs either, says Martin. Where you're at, Ivor, only 10 minutes away in the car, pal. Do you think City fans have been becoming a bit pampered? Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of that, Alexander. I'll be honest with you. I do think there has been a little bit of that. I wouldn't say that's the main root cause of it, but I do think there's been a little bit, and I don't think it's necessarily, we're pampered as fans. I just think it's that you're seeing such magnificent football on the pitch that you're watching it where, in yesteryear you were thinking, this is garbage, come on City, we're getting beat 2-0, or we're getting beat, and everyone gets up for it. And I just don't think, I'll be honest with you, this video isn't about, this is a player rating video, which we're going to go into shortly, but this is not about the atmosphere. It's something we're going to talk about. I just think in the future, I just don't think new stadia lends itself to brilliant atmospheres, if I'm being honest, because when you go on the road away to grounds like Goodison Park and Palace and wherever, the atmosphere in those small stadiums used to go to Arsenal and brilliant atmosphere. But that's what old stadia brings. I don't think new stadia brings that type of thing. I just don't. I really don't. Like I said, when I was in the Colin Bell stand, this is no disrespect to the Colin Bell. It was the fact of where I was sat, right behind the dugout, second tier. I got told by people in the South Stand that they were going mental and cheering and shouting. I really struggled to hear it. They were saying, no, we were really loud. And I'm thinking, well, from the Colin Bell, it didn't sound loud to me. So it doesn't generate the, as it passes round like a Mexican wave, it doesn't get you going in the rest of the stadium, because the South Stand are the notorious singers. It just didn't. So I think there's a multitude of issues as to why the atmosphere at stadia in general is not as good as it used to be. Certainly the brand new stadiums. But anyway, that's a whole new discussion for another time. Mohsin says, hi Andy, my daughter was in London. She went to the games anytime wanted to. Besides, she's not even a football fan. Some fans moan if not 3 up 40 minutes and go mad if we don't win a trophy. Sorry, off topic, just annoys me a tad. Play ratings, we're here, absolutely. Can't wait to be a tourist in Manchester, mate. And if I get the chance to do a vlog with you guys today, you're more than welcome, Alex. Some of the lads I've travelled the country with in the past simply cannot afford to go to City. I know if they were sat in these seats around me, it would not be quite or family friendly. Yeah, and you've also got that side of it either. I didn't mean to start a long quest discussion. No, not at all, mate. No, absolutely fine. You asked the questions. That's what the live vlogs are all about. I'm in Hollywood, Fails with Pal, close to Denton. Right, let's get on to the player ratings. Anyway, we did enough of that. We will do something more on the atmosphere, I promise. So give me your player ratings first off for Ederson. What were your thoughts on Ederson yesterday? And I sort of, yeah, well, from where I was stood, I was struggling a little bit with seeing exactly what happened. I saw the shot, but I couldn't see because there were players from my view just in front of him. So I saw it back last night when I watched the game back. Leonard London, a 5. Andy, I think the modern fan is different from 20 years ago. The Premier League is more refined than it's ever been, just evolved from the good old days. Absolutely, Mark Armstrong. He's spot on. I mean, it is a different time. And I hate harping back to the old days of Main Road and things like that. You know, it is what it is. It's not going to change. But we'll maybe do another video. We've already done several on Atmosphere, but maybe we'll do another one. Leonard London says a 5, then Tasman says a 6, Mark the Blue an 8, Dance City 6.5, Mervyn a 5.5, Phyllis 6, got his fault, goal is fault, Simple As, Section of 7, Edison 6, not much wrong. Mark says 6.5, Alex says a 5, spectated most of the match, Edison did, I forgot to change the account. So what we're going for? Edison overall, I think I'm going to give Edison on your player ratings. I'm going to give Edison a 6. Leonard's question mark over an 8. Somebody gave Edison. I'm not sure whether Edison was quite an 8, but anyway, he gets a 6 overall. Okay, moving to our right back. This is not about man of the matches, but there's a hint for you. And that was Kyle Walker yesterday. I thought Kyle Walker was very, very good. Certainly, in the second half. First half, he could have overlapped a little bit more, but first half, I thought he was very, very good. Lassie Blue was a 6. So, yeah, we gave Edison a 6 overall. Leonard London, an 8. Walker, an 8, says Paul Standall. Mervyn, an 8. My man of the match. Section, an 8.5. Lassie Blue, an 8.5. Dank City, an 8.5. Mark the Blue gives him an 8. Anyone else? 8. Made some good runs, generally solid. Alex says 8, man of the matches are starting right back for sure. Mark says 8.5, best player. I have a Walker, second half brilliant, got to play Anfield a 7. Yeah, I think second half, I think I said it on my vlog. I don't think Angelino and Walker in the first half overlapped enough, but second half I thought Walker was very, very good, and Angelino was definitely better in my opinion. So, right, okay, we've got 8.5s. Okay, Walker gets an 8. From the Man City Fan TV subscribers. So moving into our centre backs, what we're going to have a look at is our first one, and that was John Stones. Possibly should have scored. It was what turned out to be a free header when I watched it back. I thought McCarthy was pretty much close to his head when he headed it when I first saw it, but actually watching back, it was. Could have done a little bit better with it, but I thought overall he was pretty good yesterday. Phyllis warning, no one is getting an 8 for yesterday. Yeah. Well, Walker we gave an 8 because people were getting 8.5, so the average was an 8. I had a feeling he was going to be sub just before. Goal and assist deserves an 8, says Section. I agree. I'd give him an 8 for a goal and assist, definitely. Mark the Blue for Stones a 7, Paul Standall 7, Dank City a 7, Leonard a 6.5, Mervyn a 7. Tasman UK a 7, Section of 7, Latial Bleu 7, Alex a 7, Phyllis says Stone 7, City finally winning headers, Mark Armstrong a 7. I think it's pretty clear what everyone thinks, and I think I agree with you guys. I would give John Stones a 7. Didn't really do anything wrong, didn't do anything exceptional. I agree. Latial Bleu defense didn't have much to do. I thought he could have done better with that header. But overall, John Stones from you guys gets a 7. So moving over to his centre-back partner, which yesterday was Fernandinho. So what were your thoughts on Ferner yesterday? I put 6, mate, but it's okay. No problem. No, but yeah, I know you put 6, but there were loads of 7s, or far more 7s than anything else. So 7s overall. Leonard London says 6.5, Latial Bleu 7.5, Dank City 7.5, Section of 7, Mark the Blue a 6, Mingyi Wong a 7. Phyllis says, to clarify, Walker would have been 8, but he was static in the first half. I don't think anybody. I think that pretty much sums up everyone in the first half. If I'm honest, either thought everyone was off the pace. Tasman solid 6. I just can't remember his performance. Dino probably a 7. Mark a 7. Phyllis a 7. Dino. So let's go back and have a look. 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 7. Okay, I think he gets the same as John Stones. Ferner for the Man City Fan TV subscribers gets a 7. I thought he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything that actually stood out and, you know, went that way. So moving over to the left back, and that was our Angelino. So what were your thoughts on Angelino yesterday? Pretty similar to most of the players in the first half. Certainly, likewise, Walker, you know, wasn't overlapping enough. His passing, crossing wasn't brilliant, but much better second half than the first. Their goalkeeper was bloody static with a goal kicked. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on that. I said that in the vlog yesterday. Mark the Blue 6, Lemon London 7, Dank City 6.5, Section 7, Paul Standall, Angelino 7. He was all right. Mark the Blue, bad crossing. Yeah, it wasn't great, I must admit. But let's face it, he got an assist. So he gains a point for an assist because he assisted. It was his cross for Walker. Alexander 7, I think it'd be good for Mendy's replacement. 6.5, 6.5 is not Mendy, says Mark Armstrong. Mingyi Wong 7, Lassie Blur 7. Off to Anfield next Sunday. We'll be there. Phyllis, Angelino 6, one good cross, might as well climb inside Sterling's shirt, ruined Silver's game, crap. Ooh, a little bit harsh there, Ivor, if I'm honest with you. Right, looking at the scores for you guys, I would have given him a 6, but he got an assist, so he gets an extra point for me for a 7. Looking at your scores, and was crossing to midgets all game. BB, he was crossing to midgets all game, and that was very frustrating from everybody, not just Angelino. I'm gonna give Angelino a 7 because he got an assist, and I think he was like many people in the first half. Yeah, just wasn't good enough. Passing wasn't great. Not enough overlapping down those wings. Very rarely did we see an overlap from Angelino or Walker. But anyway, moving on to our holding midfielder in that number 6, and that was Ilkay Gundogan. So he retained his place in there. And what we got here, BB says 7.5. Kiam's Angelino looked good to me, a 7. Yeah, give him a 7 on average from the Man City Fan TV subscribers. Alex, I wonder if Angelino could play midfield. I think he definitely can. Angelino selling, tactical buy. He won't play many games after Christmas. Right, okay. Gundogan, Alexander Savage at 6. BB, 4 backs, 1 as a game. 1 assist in the other. Good point. London 6.5, Section 6.5. Phyllis, Gundo solid 7. Mark the Blue 6. Gundo far too slow. He was bypassed at times. 6. Ilkay a 7, says Paul Standall. First half, I thought he was very non-existent. I do think he was better in the second half, I must admit. But first half, yeah, just wasn't there at all. Dank City a 6.5. Lassie Obler 7. Didn't have killer pass whole game. Tasman 7, tough game for him, but it was for everyone. 6.5, better in DM than more forward. He's played well. I mean, let's face it, last 3 games, apart from yesterday, he's had very, very good games. Gundogan a 7. God, this one's going to be a bit tight. So let me just go back and have a look. Okay, Gundogan gets a 6.5 from the Man City Fan TV subscribers on a sort of average overall score. So moving through to his partner next to him, who came off early in the game, or didn't complete the full game, and that was David Silva. So what were your thoughts on El Maggio yesterday? Came off, we're still not sure about the absolute extent of his injury. By all accounts, it's more of he felt something rather than he had a hamstring tear or pull. So Mingyi Wong a 6, Leonard Lundon 6, Alexander Savage. Yeah, and remember the scoring applies, so we only played half a game. So 6, 6, Alex a 6, Tasman a 6, Paul a 6, Dank City a 7, Section 7.5. It's illegal to score him any less than 7.5. That'd be my thinking, but no, I think we have to be realistic. Beyond Belief 6.5, Billis never got going a 6. Yeah, Gavin is sadly fading, but not sure about that. I think that no, I'm not having that, Kiam. Yesterday, I think probably was feeling something, hence why in the first half he wasn't anywhere near the level like he normally is, like everyone else wasn't. 7, I'll not hear a bad word about him. We have to judge him on his performance. We have to be objective with it. I'd give him a 10 just because I'm a David Silva fan, but we have to be objective. Can't make my mind for his rating. Right, okay, well, I'll make your mind up. There he goes. David Silva, he gets a 6 because he only completed half a game. So we can't give him any more than that, which is a shame. And moving to his partner in midfield was Kevin De Bruyne, who I thought yesterday had a very, very average game. Overall, I thought he was poor in the first half, not much better in the second half, if I'm being honest. And for me, there's something slightly not wrong, which is very, very worrying, and I'm worried about it. I'm not sure whether he's carrying something or what's going on, but he's had a couple of wonderful games, and we know how brilliant he is, but something is not right at the moment. Sorry I'm late, Edward, don't worry, mate. I just mean Legsy's struggling now with pay. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that for a second, but he's one of those players who don't need legs if we've got runners, but we haven't. We have got Gundogan at the moment, who's not a runner. Kiam, why is he up for Player of the Month if he's fading? Yeah, he is, and Goal of the Month. He couldn't get close enough to Aguero for Pep. Yeah, I know, I do understand that. Led London a 6, Dank City a 6, Tasman a 6, Mingy 1 a 5, KDB a 6, Section a 6.5, Ivor Kev 6 turned into boring Kev. KDB a 6. I'm curious why he's struggling lately. So am I. KDB looks a little bit overweight. Says Kiam, yeah, I mean, somebody else said that to me in the ground yesterday. Said that he looks a bit overweight, like Mendy is. He's tired. Mark the Blue 6, if he's tired, he shouldn't be playing. KDB 7, 5.5, one of his worst games in a City shirt. He's up for Player of the Month because we've been very average as a team lately. He's in the Premier League. Kiam, he's in the Premier League Player of the Month. Not City Player of the Month, Premier League Player of the Month. And he's up for Premier League Goal of the Month as well. Does he need a rest? I don't know. I'm not on the inside at Man City, I'll be honest with you. So, got to overcome the freezing weather, tired, he had a week off, no excuse. He just wasn't at it, and he hasn't been for a while. He's had a couple of games this season where he's been superb. And you're thinking, oh, he's back to his best now. Last few games, he's not been great at all. He really hasn't. How does anyone expect Gundo to play killer ball when Southampton had 11 men behind the ball? Did you actually watch the game? Premier League Player of the Month is stat nonsense. I'll use my eyes. I know that. Just saying, it is about everyone else is using their eyes because a load of people vote for the players that go on to the Player of the Month award. No worries about KDB, the best yet to come. I hope so. I really do. We need him back for next week. We really do. Right, I'm going to give KDB, from your ratings, KDB gets a 6, and it's not often we give Kevin De Bruyne a 6 on Man City Fan TV, but from you guys anyway, because it's your scores, not mine. But anyway, on to another player who somehow is just, again, struggling, really struggling. And when you think we won yesterday 2-1, and we've got a couple of players who are struggling at the moment in the likes of Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Another player who's just struggling. And I don't buy the argument that, oh, he shouldn't be played out wide, he should be in the centre. I don't buy that at all because he was fantastic out wide last season. Absolutely amazing. So I don't buy that argument. I don't think it's anything to do with positional with Bernardo Silva. I think since this whole tweet, his game has just gone completely off the boil. His touch is still phenomenal. He's just not making the runs. He's not playing the killer passes. He's not making the right decisions. He's just off his game at the moment. I just desperately want him back. Bernardo 6 as Edward. Leonard a 6. Mark the Blue 6. Dank City 6. Tasman 6. Beyond belief, the Everton versus Spurs game is garbage, hence why I'm on here. Mingy 1 6. Section 6, he's not in his element at the moment. He isn't. Silva 6, just no place to move or make an impact. Alex at 4.5, Mark Armstrong 5.5, fell off the cliff. Hi Krieber, how are you? Bernardo wasn't that bad. I think his head is away. A 7. Ivor a 5. Bernardo 6.5, should have scored. Krieber a 6. There's something not quite. There's something. He's nowhere near the level he was last season. Nowhere near it. But let's just hope he can play. I mean, Pep keeps playing him, and I think he's playing him just to try and get him back into some form. And it's funny, we've still not heard anything from the FA over the charges or the investigation, let's say, is probably the better terminology, into the Benjamin Mendy tweet. Not that I've read anything anyway, unless you guys know something I don't. But it's yeah, I'm gonna give Bernardo on your ratings. I'm gonna give him a 6, and that's probably a generous 6 if I'm being honest. But hey, love the guy. He's absolutely amazing. Moving into the left side, another player which, I mean, it's very difficult to say many bad things about this kid, but you have to call it as it is. And that's what it's all about when we do player ratings. It's not about what he's done before, which has been absolutely phenomenal this season and last season, but it wasn't at his best yesterday. That's generous. Yeah, maybe it was generous for Bernardo, but hey, we'll stick with a 6. 6 in the last 2 games, Southampton closed out wingers. Leonard, a 6. Raz, a 6. Dank City, a 7. Edward, a 6.5. Mark the Blue, 6. Krieber, a 6. 86, says Tasman. I think you meant a 6. Yes, mate. 6.5. Looked off. Yeah, wasn't at his best yesterday. Plus, now Sterling 1, can't forgive him for not passing to Jesus later on to make it 3. Yeah, I mean, it was an awful mistake or decision. Mingy Wong, a 6. Mark Armstrong, 6.6. Quite game. Wow, very specific there, Mark. Old Raz creeping back, 6. Lassie Blur, 6.5. Still, that's a decisive decision making. I don't know whether you can make generic comments like that, Krieber, because, you know, let's face it, how many times has he made brilliant decisions this season? I just think he does fall back into briefly for those times. I think he's been much better the last 2 years. Sterling 6, if he has too much time to think, gets brain freeze, should have squared it, he should have done. Raz will improve when Angelino is not sat on his shoulders. That's a pretty good point. I'm going to go for what you guys are overall. I'm going to give, again, another pretty disappointing sort of ratings today, and another 6, but I think that's a reflection on yesterday's game, which moves us through to our guy, Sergio Aguero, who, as we know, finished a very nice move in at last. Finished off a brilliant actual ball across the box from Kyle Walker, one of the only ones that actually reached a player properly, and he finished it off, but did miss a decent header. This image you're seeing here, he should have had that on target. He went over the bar, but anyway, what are your thoughts on Sergio? Remind me of Jesus Navas. That moved too quickly with his brain. Sergio was 7, Edward. Krieber 7.5, Dank City 7.5, Tasman 7, 10 is a fighter. Wow, not sure he was a 10, Leonard, but he is a fighter. Mark the Blue 7, Alex a 7, Mark 7.5, feeding off scraps. He was yesterday. Mingy Wong an 8, Paul Sandel 7. Still, that's that decisive decision making. You taking drugs? Especially after what he's done recently. I think sometimes, you know, they all have brain freezes. All players have it. I don't honestly believe Raheem Sterling is back to where he was at first season at City or at Liverpool. I think he's progressed far more than that. Aguero 7, says BB, 7.5, but could have been more. It could have been. Lassie Obler 7.5, 7, just because he scored. Sergio 7, always there to dig us and you out. Absolutely. Aguero poor for an hour, then came good. But in that, what Sergio does overall, I mean, he's one of those players. Right, looking at this, gonna have to give him. I mean, this is for somebody who scored, but Sergio, he gets a 7 from you guys. Wow, this is somebody who scored. But hey, it's your decisions, guys. You're the ones that do it. Anyway, we saw the next man coming on, which was Gabriel Jesus. And what were your thoughts on Gabby yesterday? Sergio was very poor in the first half, says BB. I mean, I don't think anybody was good in the first half, if I'm being honest with you, BB. I think most were a 4 at best. Alex gives Gabby a 5, a 7, says Lassio Blur, 6.5 Leonard, Tasman a 6, Jesus a 6, says Edward, Mingy Wong a 5, Seth Creeber a 6, 6, Raz should have passed to him. Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, okay. 6, Mark the Blue, Dank City is 6. Kiam, Gabby is a grafter, but more endeavour than product. 6. Gabby is 6, says BB. He's looking pretty sort of like, we know what the score's going to be, and I can't really disagree with it. What did Gabby do to get a 7, says Alexander. Jesus came on and started to divide their lines with Zenergy 7. Not a coincidence, we played better when he came on. China, we should have played him up front with Aguero. 6, always rate his work rate. Dank City, you copying my ratings. Okay, Gabby gets a 6 overall because that's the majority score for Gabby. Not much we can do about that. I'm going to, before I skip to the other one, I'm going to bring the one, and I'm only going to bring him up. I'm not going to rate him because he only came on for a couple of minutes. And that was the general came on for the last few minutes. But just to give him a shout out, like I said, I like Otamendi. I've stuck up for Otamendi. I think obviously he makes the odd mistake, but I like him. I still rate him. I still think he's a good player, and he brings fight and energy and things in that back line and good aerial ability. So we're not gonna give him a rating because he only came on for a couple of minutes, and normally don't do anything unless you've been on for 20 minutes. But I'm going to move to this kid who came on yesterday, and that was Phil Foden. What were your thoughts when Phil came on? Because for me, I thought he was very impressive and brought a lot of energy as soon as he came on. So what were your thoughts? Otamendi, man of match 10. Get rid of him. No chance. The general 10. 10 for Otamendi. Did do anything wrong. Session 2011. Did we rate the magician? Yeah, we did. Mark the Blue, 7. Can't rate. I think you're talking there about that. Chanub, he got a 6. Foden a 6. Adds that bit of spark to the game. 7.5. 6.5 says Tasman. Foden a 7. Section 100 million or 7.5. Yeah, being biased at 10. Foden did well, gave his legs. He did. He definitely brought that little bit of spark and real energy when he came on. And maybe, I mean, I've been saying, can we drop David Silva for Phil Foden? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe this little tiny niggle now will give Foden his chance for the next couple of weeks. And maybe Foden might be the person to play against Liverpool. That real energy, that real fight, that real, tenacity. Maybe we'll be needing it next week. So Foden, the 6.5 says BB. Chanub 7 for Phil. Foden, the 7. He keeps the ball so well. Rebet, no. I'd like to see Foden starting the Champions League games. 7 needs to see more minutes, says Mark Armstrong. Anyone else before I give Foden what I think is going to be a 7. I love Foden's attacking style. He always takes the ball forwards. He does. Hello, says Aaron. How are you, mate? Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 7 as well. I'd play Foden next week. You talking about next week midweek game against Atalanta, or are you talking about Liverpool, Paul? Wonder if KDB can play in that central defensive midfield role. I think he definitely can. I think that's a definite position that Kevin De Bruyne, maybe when he's slightly off form, maybe that's his position to just get him back in the game again. I don't know. Or maybe next week Rodri will be back. We'll see. All right, Plastics. George Brush. All right, Plastics. How are you, George? You must be a plastic, mate. Sorry, Liverpool. Yeah, I agree. Maybe Foden for Liverpool. So Foden gets a 7. George Bush holding up the Yu-Gi-Oh card. No idea what you're talking about there, buddy. So you can go and train with the kids. Will Spanish Day be fit for Clanfield? Don't know. Waiting and see. KDB at CDM would be injured in no time. Yeah, well, maybe. Let's rate Pep. No, we're already doing it, Alex. Calm down. We've got them coming. Chill out, brother. They are coming up. So, next one up is, before Alex thinks he runs Man City Fan TV now, is Pep Guardiola. So there you go, Pep Guardiola. What we're giving Pep for yesterday. He was very irate. Pep gets 10 out of 10 for me. He was a great ball boy. He was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Taking the piss, I think, out of some of the time wasting that was going on. We missed Fernandinho's influence in midfield. Chanub an 8, Leonard a 7, Lassie Blur at 10. Section 11 for the ball offering to the Southampton manager. Satsman 8 for baiting the Southampton bench. 9 liked his emotions and lineup. Media meltdown over Pep's diving comments. 10 just for that comment. Phyllis Pepper 6. Mark the Blue a 9. 9.5. Why don't you want the ball now? Love Pep. Lassie Blur. Mingy Wong a 9. Kiam Pep 6 for me. I don't think he did enough to counter there. Back 8. Back 8. I mean, God, that just shows you. I mean, he did say in his post-match press conference that, I mean, he found it very difficult because they put literally 6 or 7 in a triangle, and that's why they were putting crosses in, according to Pep. 7.5, he looked anxious. He looked very, very angry. 8, I don't think Pep has backup plan though. What? Jesus, best manager in world football. Look, Pep loves sense of injustice with Edison's ridiculous booking, blatant double standards. It was yesterday, very frustrating. You know, I watched about 10, 15 times when their keeper was just taking 30, 40, 50 seconds over everything. Nothing. I think Edison did it twice and got a booking. So, Pep, for you guys, I'm going to give him an 8.5 from your scoring. So there you go. Which brings me on to, before Alexander Savic tells me off and goes, oh, you're not going to do this one. And that is the fans and the atmosphere around the stadium. So what were your thoughts if you heard it on TV or you were at the game? Let's see. No need to start Gundogan in a game like that, says Kiam. Leonard London, in order to play system, our defence should be an 8 at least. So, fans, this is the last one before we go. So, well, we've got one more, and that'll just be your fans. Fans, 10 out of 10, as always. I think Jesus should leave City. Going off the fans on here, they don't understand his game. Good job, Pep knows what to do. Jesus, no, should never leave City. Very, very good player. He's only a baby. God, he still won't come good to the top of his game for at least another 2 years, in my opinion, until Aguero leaves, and I'll be honest. Mark the Blue in 8. 8 could hear them. Leonard a 9. Atmosphere 8. Mingy Wong in 8. Paul says 8.5. I could hear Martin from space. He wanted his space. He was actually in the Lake District. So, I mean, God, you know what Martin's like. Maybe you did hear him. Place was bouncing at the end. 8. It was. Edison was booked twice last season for time wasting. Once this season, it's an absolute joke. Keepers wasting our time. Clever and experienced, though, in it. South Stand level 1 was at 10. Says Tasman UK. 8 seemed more boisterous. It was definitely a lot louder yesterday than it has been of late. That is for sure. Certainly for the last few weeks. Fans 8 better, but still not great. Martin's been the toilet roll. Southampton were terrible yesterday. Non-existent, I'll be honest with you. All just sat down as well. I'm still here, thank you, Andy Cheeky. Oh, you're there, mate. Okay. Right, okay, I'm going to give, and I'm going to override it. And I'm only going to give an 8. I'm going to give an 8.5 because I thought it was much better from the City fans yesterday. But was that to do with the fact that we were behind and we had to get up and support the team? I still think that's a big part of it, but that's just my opinion. But my final question to you before we go is, who was your man of the match? So give me your man of the match for yesterday's game. I know what mine is, but you give me yours. One word. Atalanta played today. Atmosphere 8. Yep, I gave it an 8.5, BB. And I noticed what you got on the match day. Walker. But Angelino claimed close. Walker. Alexander Savic, Southampton sang that song 70 years before Spurs. Walker by a mile. Walker was awful. Oh, stop throwing that in there, Kiam. Walker 9 sent Cancelo and us a message. Me, I'm man of the match, yeah, in your dreams. City fans of Fernandinho. City fans, good shout. Fernandinho, but man of the match. Kyle Walker, yeah, there you go. Kyle Walker for me, easily yesterday, was man of the match. Thought he had a very good second half. But no, like I said, I don't think anybody played well in the first half. But anyway, man of the match was Ferner. Oh, you're just being controversial, Kiam. You need to go back out with your wife. Go on. Listen, one last thing. Thank you, everyone, for giving you play ratings. One last thing. There is the big quiz. It's the massive big quiz. Let me just see if I can pull it out quickly before I go, because I've got podcasts to do and things like that. There is, where is it? Got to try and get it out of here. Should have been prepared. I do apologise. Yep, that's the one. There is a big quiz coming very, very shortly. And on the big quiz, we are going to give away a special prize. And I want to say massive thank you, huge big thank you to a big Man City fan who... I'm not going to name because he doesn't want to be named. But what he basically did is he bought the print per se and said, look, what I want you to do is I want you to donate this to a big quiz. So that's what we're going to do. And I want to say a massive thank you to that person. That person knows who they are, though they don't want to be named. So the quiz, I'm trying to think when to do it, whether I do it tomorrow night or I do it tomorrow night, Monday, or do it Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. But the prize it's the signed artwork of, let me get that right, the Phil Foden signed artwork that's on there by Leslie Ross. It's authenticated on the back with the City seal of approval, and you will also get the letter of authenticity signed by Tackle for Manchester and Phil Foden for the artwork. That is going to be a prize. Trust me, that is an absolute. This is we've given away some amazing prizes on Man City Fan TV. Some wonderful prizes. Last time Martin donated a really, really brilliant book up there as a prize for the winner. This is absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible. Remember, you won't get these. You just won't get them. You certainly won't get them signed. That's for sure. You might be able to buy Leslie Ross's book, and don't forget they are out now. I think it's £20 for a paperback, and there are, I can't remember how many she did send me. I think there's 60. I might be wrong. 40 or 60 hardback copies, which are £40, and there are only a certain number. There's the number. Personalised copy. There's a number for each Manchester City player. So if let's say for example, if Ederson was number 1, Ederson would get number 1 copy print out, and that would be sent to them. And each player, number 2 would get one, number 3, number 4, etc. And yet there was some gaps of players whose numbers, obviously at Man City, they haven't taken those numbers. One of them was number 9, and that was Sergio number 9, which was taken by Gabby. There was number 33, I think, became available. I put my order in for number 23 because of Mark Vivian Foe. So my personalised one is number 23, the book. But they're the hard copies of them, and they're all the artwork that she's done for the whole Centurion season of players. Wonderful. If you've not seen it, go over on Twitter and follow Leslie Ross. She's the one who did all this artwork. But that is going to be the big quiz, and that's going to be the prize donated by one of Man City Fan TV's regular subscribers who didn't want to be named, but he wanted to donate it back for a big, massive quiz. So it's going to be a massive football quiz, seeing as though we're on football rather than doing general knowledge, movies, music, whatever. It's going to be a massive worldwide football quiz. So let me just go back and see. Will Section be on the next quiz? Probably. I will try extra hard. Yes, Southampton will first. Don't know how anyone dislike him is hilarious, interesting. So City don't have a plan B. Walker is getting it there. Right. Okay. Listen, I'm going to let you know that artwork is mint. It's absolutely brilliant. Superb. But I'll let you know. I'll put it on social media. So if you don't follow us on social media, you can see it down in the description below. But that's my Twitter account. So if you don't follow us, if you go to the description below, you can see all our Twitter accounts. I will post when the big quiz is going on. It'll probably this week, maybe tomorrow night, maybe Tuesday night, or no, it won't be Wednesday night, but maybe tomorrow night or Tuesday night. So that will be the big prize to the winner, and we'll send it to you free of charge wherever you are in the world. So get your thinking caps on, get your worldwide football knowledge up to date, because it's going to be probably about 90 minutes of questions, and then hopefully Martin or Kiam will be the adjudicator. They'll add up all the scores, and then we'll announce the winner. And if there's, if it's a draw, there'll be a playoff round as well between those people. So anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Does worldwide football include Sunday League knowledge? No, it doesn't. It's going to be a real random selection. So that'll be an absolutely amazing prize. That's like 150 quid's worth of artwork if we just kept it and put it on. The for auction, and until we got it, people would pay that type of money. So it's wonderful. So guys, don't forget, keep following us, and follow my Twitter account, follow Martin or Kiam. In the description below is their Twitter accounts. We'll let you know when it's going to happen. Get your thinking caps on, and hope if there's an ad block, does LSC fan block exist as well? Section 20, are you playing? Section 20, I'm sure we'll play. I think he's won 4 out of 5. I'm sure he'll be going for this one as well. I'll be here. There you go. See. But yeah, it's an amazing prize. If you've got people who who are not subscribers of Man City Fan TV, remember, you're going to have to be a subscriber. So get them involved if you want to. The more the merrier. They are going to have to be a subscriber of Man City Fan TV and a genuine person that we can follow through. So anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Take care. Have a wonderful Sunday evening. Don't forget, check out yesterday's videos, and also early hours of this morning I put out the full match day vlog of yesterday versus Southampton. So go over, if you've not seen that, go over and watch it. And at the end, it's a little bit of me interacting with you guys on a live stream that I did from the Etihad Stadium. But this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and that way you'll be notified. Don't forget, your notifications need to be made public, not private. So check out in your settings that they are public, and that way you are notified. Comment below if you missed the video. You can see it back in about 20-30 minutes time. And yeah, follow us all on Twitter. The names are in our Twitter handles are in the description below, and that way you'll be notified when the quiz is going to be. And I'm off to do a podcast for reviewing yesterday's game. But take care, have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll see you soon.